Hello and welcome to part 3 of this tutorial on how to capture key press events and move a button around a screen. Well, we're at the stage where we need to add the button, and this turns out to be fairly straightforward. I'm going to place the statements and then explain what they do. So I'll just get back some neatness here, and while you have a look, let's see what I've written. Right, we'll go back to here. We add a button to the screen and customize it. I'm saying that the name of my button is going to be JB, stands for Java Button, very cunning name. But I could have called it Avatar, of course, if it was the avatar for a player in a game. This JB equals new JButton using constructor of a button to instantiate JB. I'm passing a message to the receiver constructor of an exclamation mark, just as a placeholder really. We notice that the IDE is complaining as though it doesn't know what JButton is. Well, I think it's being a little coy. It does really. If we just import that, and that's what's happened, the import has put in a button at this point on line 16. And so now we know what the button is. We set the size of the button to 130, 125. This just actually suits what I'm trying to do. The complaint here that it doesn't know what JB is, and if I ask it for help, it says, well, why don't I create a field JB? If we ask it to do that, let's see what it does. We look up here, we see it's made a private field, as it calls it, a property, JB. This is an instance variable. It's made final by the IDE because it isn't going to change. It's a piece of furniture on the form. So I just thought I'd show you that in this IDE, if you forget your instance variables, they've put them in for you. Okay, now it's complaining. Well, I'm sorry, let me jump back to where I was. I beg your pardon. So we set the size there, and then we set the location. Remember, we set the layout to null because we're going to actually set location to 5, 5. That is x coordinate of 5 and y coordinate of 5 on the panel. And that set location method will actually place the button in that position. I'm going to set the background color to black, well, anything but green, otherwise we won't see the button. So I wanted to just make it black. It would have otherwise come up with a default color of a sort of grey. And I'm also going to set an icon here, and this takes a little bit of explanation about the icon, so I'm going to just comment that out for the moment so that we can come back to it, because I did put a little placeholder of an exclamation mark in there. Let's run that and see what we have. And we have a square button with an exclamation mark in it that we can't really see because it's black on black. Oh well, it seemed a good idea at the time, but when I click it and we get the XORing of it, we can actually see that exclamation mark. Something else to note here is that it's a 5, 5 in that top corner, top left hand corner. That's where it's at. 5, 5 is where we placed it. Okay. Now it turns out we're actually a very good way into the solving of the problem of moving this button around. It may not seem it to you at the moment, but actually we are. Because we've set up a form, we've set up a panel within the form which will in effect be the screen for our game, and we've set up the avatar, which is the button that will be moved around. We've set up all the infrastructure needed to actually capture the key presses and translate them into relocations of the button. And that's what we're going to do in the next tutorial.